celebrating 100 years of basketball. TAC Communication Sports proudly presents the 77th Annual WIAA Boys State Basketball Championships. Live from the University of Wisconsin Fieldhouse in Madison, this WIAA Network Sports exclusive is brought to you statewide by Milk, the official beverage of the WIAA Games, and by the people who produce milk, the dairy farm families of Wisconsin. The rural insurance companies, providing Wisconsin families and businesses with a full line of insurance needs. Your local Cenex and Land O'Lakes cooperatives, providing quality petroleum products, crop inputs, and livestock feeds. Marshfield Clinic, a national leader in medical care, research, and education. And by Menards, helping families build America's heartland for 32 years. Save big money at Menards.
When basketball practices began back in November, the dream of the players and coaches was to play on this floor on this day, Championship Saturday of the 77th Annual Boys State Basketball Tournament. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Madison. I'm Jay Wilson. Over 400 schools started in the tournament field. 8 are still standing. By the end of the day, only 4 will take home division championship trophies. Here's our schedule. In just a few moments, Division 4, Cassville and Spring Valley. That will be followed immediately by the Division 3 championship game between Columbus and undefeated St. Croix Falls. Our second session begins at 6:30. Division 2, Campbellsport and Onalaska, followed by the Division 1 title game between Madison West and undefeated Milwaukee King. First up in just a few minutes, Division 4, Spring Valley and Cassville. Joining us today, Jim Sosha of our Wausau affiliate and Brookfield Central boys basketball coach Bill Groff. Jim, the rematch. These teams have really been looking forward to this game.
These two teams met a year ago on the Fieldhouse floor, Jay, in the semifinals. Spring Valley scored 37 points in the fourth quarter to beat the Comets. It's a game the Comets have certainly not forgotten. They'll get a crack at some revenge today. Bill, the stakes are even higher than they were a year ago.
Well, last year they met in the semifinals, and now we've got the situation at the state tournament, a boy, a ball, and a dream, plus the added dimension now, a rematch.
Sam Oakey for Cassville, the freshman center yesterday, 28 points. He was sensational.
Great player. He gives them a real strong inside game.
On the other end, Corey Krybeck, maybe feeling a little under the weather, still had 17 points for a very explosive Spring Valley ball club.
Well, I think we're going to see two teams are going to go at each other. They're going to run up and down the floor. It should be a great championship ball game.
Jay, Cassville and Spring Valley have been looking at the schedule all year long. They thought a rematch was possible. Both teams have what they want today.
And the way these guys play in the fourth quarter, stay around until the very last horn sounds. It'll be great. Should be a good one. Okay, Jim and Bill back in a moment with the Division 4 title game. But first, a word from our statewide sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Beautify your bath with remodeling ideas from Menards. Tub surround kits by Design House are on sale now. They're easy to install and easy to clean. This white trio tub surround is just $29.99 and adds style with a mirrored medicine cabinet by Nautilus. Choose from traditional and contemporary styles on sale now, starting at just $9.99. Remember Menards for all your bath remodeling projects.
Save big money at Menards.
We started about 15 years ago in talking about the patient being number one. If you really believe in it, it has to penetrate absolutely every aspect of the organization. And that gets down to meeting them in the hallway and being nice to them. And simply helping people when they have a puzzled look on their face, is not walk by them, simply stop and say, "Can I help you?" Makes a difference.
Wisconsin is famous for milk as fresh, pure, and wholesome as Wisconsin itself. And the great tasting dairy products we make from our milk. That's why wherever you go in America, you'll find more and more people looking for dairy products made right here in Wisconsin. Look for them in your supermarket. They're America's dairy finest, homegrown in Wisconsin.
Spring Valley against Cassville for the Division 4 state championship. Here with the starting lineups, PA announcer Jack Rain.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to the championship round of the 77th annual WIAA Boys State High School Basketball Tournament. For the 1992 Division III State Championship, representing the Dunn St. Croix Conference, the Cardinals of Spring Valley. Representing the Blackhawk Conference, the Comets of Cassville. For Spring Valley, at forward, a 6'3" senior, number 24, Corey Krybeck. For Cassville, a 6'3" senior, number 44, Brian Koopman. For Spring Valley, a 6'4" senior, number 42, Brad Burgess. For Cassville, a 6' senior, number 22, Stan Schoaf. In the middle, for Spring Valley, a 6'7" senior, number 50, Mike Churchill. For Cassville, a 6'5" freshman, number 34, Sam Oakey. The guards, for Spring Valley, a 6' junior, number 20, Sean Houlihan. For Cassville, a 5'11" sophomore, number 24, Corey Sauser. For Spring Valley, a 6'1" junior, number 30, Ben Lamb. And for Cassville, a 5'8" sophomore, number 30, Chad Infield. Completing his second year as coach of the Spring Valley Cardinals, Rob Bosshart. And his assistants, Rick Gould and Mark Johnson. Completing his 7th season as coach of the Cassville Comets, Dennis Appana. And his assistant coach, Randy Hatlin. The officials assigned by the WIAA are from the Hudson area, Jack Moore and John Page.
All right, we are just about set to go. These two teams got here like this. Spring Valley with a comeback win over Lena yesterday, and Cassville with an unbelievable fourth quarter rally to beat a very good Marshfield club yesterday afternoon.
Two great games, and that's what's going to make this state championship game even better.
I know when I saw you on Wednesday morning, you said, hey, we could have a Spring Valley Cassville championship game, a rematch.
My pleasure.
Lined up early.
Well, Jim, you were about as excited as I was because of the anticipation of this happening.
Tip controlled by Spring Valley. Churchill inside, battles, and we have an early fight.
Get active right away. He was a little bit on the quiet side yesterday. 12 points, 6 rebounds, and Mike Churchill, that's below his averages.
Krybeck outside, goes to Ben Lamb. To Sean Houlihan. Houlihan, their junior point guard. Runs the show most of the time. Burgess. And that's back to Krybeck. Just underway here in the Division IV State Championship basketball game. The first of 4 championship games for you today. Krybeck in the lane, goes up strong, missed it. Churchill got it back and put it in.
Good strong rebound and a good putback.
Churchill yesterday had 12 against Lena, but he was really a non-factor for the first 3 quarters. He's picking up early where he left off yesterday in the 4th. That's the big freshman, Sam Oakey, misses his first try, and Corey Krybeck traveled.
You can see that both teams want to start moving it up and down as quick as they can. And this isn't Tombstone, Arizona, but I think we're going to have a shootout today, Jim.
Well, we did last year when these two teams met in the Division IV semifinal. Spring Valley scored 37 in the 4th quarter to win it 89-82. Koopman drives and hits. And Bill, going back to last year, I'm still a little out of breath from doing that game. That was just up and down basketball.
Great game, and Brian Koopman, who just made the basket, said the worst thing that he remembers about the whole tournament was that they had the game in their hand and they let it slip away.
Ben Lamb on the baseline, little flat. Spring Valley really going to the boards, and Krybeck scores.
Well, that time they had 4 players right around the basket. They're hitting the offensive boards real hard, Jim.
They do have a little bit of a size advantage inside, and they're taking advantage of it. Oki on the dish to Copeman, knocked away and out of bounds. You know, other than Sam Oki at 6'5", Brian Copeman, fairly big at 6'3". Then you look at 3 guys who are under 6 feet tall for the Comets, and so they've got to work hard to rebound.
Well, they're playing with a 3-perimeter offensive set.
Copeman on the jump hook, misses. Houlihan behind the back. Good move to get out of the pressure. Krybeck will fire. Good. Quickly, Spring Valley in the first 2 minutes takes a 4-point lead, 6-2.
There was a nice little fake by Corey and then the lean-in jump shot.
Chad Infield goes all the way. He lays it in. Here we go, Bill.
Well, Chad's kind of a slashing type of guard, and he'll do a lot of that today.
This is Ben Lamb, the junior guard. Krybeck inside Burgess, has it knocked away and out of bounds.
That was a great block, and what helped the perimeter player was the big guy brought the ball down below his waist. You want to keep that ball above your shoulders if you're playing around the basket.
Krybeck will trigger the inbounds pass. Comes out high to Houlihan to Lamb. Here's Krybeck in the lane again. Good. I almost spoke too soon, Bill, but it did go in, and it is 8-4, and Krybeck off to a great start. He is 3 for 4 from the floor.
I think gravity had something to do with that made basket.
Copeman will fire from the baseline. Infield got it and dribbled it off his foot and out of bounds. The 77th annual Boys State Tournament is brought to you statewide by the farm families who produce milk, the official beverage of the WIAA.
We've got Cassville right now playing a half-court man defense.
Krybeck again misses this time. He's 3 for 5 from the floor. And the Comets will try to reduce that deficit.
Spring Valley is doing something interesting. They're playing Corey Krybeck, who's basically a perimeter player, closer to the basket in these first opening offensive sets.
Infield to Copeman. Copeman, an all-conference performer this year. Misses again on the baseline, and there's Corey Krybeck. Hasn't been feeling well the last week. Maybe it showed yesterday, but it hasn't showed today. Brad Burgess has it blocked by freshman center Sam Oki.
Well, Sam did something again right away that was positive, and he's proving to a lot of people in this fieldhouse that he is not a freshman, and yesterday wasn't a fluke.
He had a tremendous game. 28 points and 14 rebounds. Mike Churchill jump hook. No, Burgess got it back. Oki out of there with a rebound. Looks at the official and says, "Sir, I got raked on the arm, but no call."
Well, the official didn't see any blood, so he let him play on.
Outside, that's Stan Schaaf. They swing it on the left side. Schaaf has it. Copeman has it rejected. 3-on-2 break. Spring Valley. Ben Lamb. He's fouled.
On that block by Mike Churchill, we are seeing some real strong play by the big people from both teams.
Ben Lamb gets the ball on the fly, and he goes down hard.
Yes, he did.
Ben Lamb, 6'1" junior guard, averages 7 points a game. He had a big game yesterday, 13 points, 61% free throw shooter.
Ben played like a lion yesterday and not a lamb.
I was wondering if you were going to use that today.
Well, you tempted me, and I couldn't let that one go by, Jim.
3:46 here to go in the first quarter. Spring Valley leading Cassville 8-6.
Both these teams are very good free throw shooting teams. They both were in the 70s yesterday for the real tough contest.
9-4, Spring Valley in front. Infield takes it in. Good drive, and he draws the foul.
Chad really likes to do that, and it's a dimension that helps the Cassville team. Here you see how he just slashes toward the basket. He got by 2 guys. Unfortunately, there was a little height mismatch there, and he got it blocked.
Right now, Spring Valley leads it by 5, but with both of these teams, the game, I know it's maybe a little bit of a cliche, but it's not over till it's over, because You know what happened last year? Spring Valley scored 37 to beat the Comets in the fourth quarter. Yesterday, Cassville with a great rally against Marshall. They outscored them 32 to 18 in the fourth to win it 72-71. So both of these teams are very capable of making big comebacks.
Well, and there's a little irony in that. Cassville came back yesterday, and that's what happened to them last year at the hands of Spring Valley.
Sean Houlihan gives Spring Valley an 11-6 lead. Stan Schauf. Oki from the free throw line.
When you got a big guy who can go out 15 feet from the basket and hit those jump shots, that just is a bonus for your offensive team.
Sam Oki on the board, and it's an 11-8 game. Ben Lamb goes inside with the left hand, and Oki there on the defensive boards. How would you like to have a guy like Sam Oki on your team, Bill? Could he play?
If he would get 14 rebounds a game for me, he could play every ball game, 32 minutes.
Coltman, good move off the glass. No, tip. Oki got it back, and he'll go to the line. Yeah, and the 28 points, that would just be a bonus then, right?
Absolutely. I wouldn't even demand any points on him.
Watch him go to the boards here. Good move by Coltman, but, you know, at 6'5", he's got long arms, too, so he probably, you know, he can play bigger than 6'5" if he wants to, and he's not a bad ball handler, so he can play smaller than 6'5" if he wants to as well.
We saw him dribble about 3/4 the length of the floor yesterday on a couple of fast breaks, so he's got the whole package.
Brad Burgess is going to have to sit out for a while with those 2 fouls. In to replace him, a guy who did a heck of a job yesterday, sophomore center Joe Hutter. So they're going to go with the Twin Towers, Churchill at 6'7" and Hutter at 6'6". Oki yesterday 11 out of 13 from the free throw line, and he pulls Cassville back within 1. It's 11-10 Spring Valley. Timeout on the floor. Action in the 77th annual WIAA boys basketball tournament continues after we hear from our statewide sponsor, Cenex Land O'Lakes. This is your WIAA network station.
Ethanol, good. Now that ethanol has replaced lead and gas, the air's a lot cleaner for everyone, especially kids. Cars are emitting less carbon monoxide, which helps hold down ozone pollution in our cities. And that detergent additive in ethanol keeps dirty gas from clogging fuel injectors. You don't need as much foreign oil either. And ethanol has opened new markets for American farmers. Cleaner air, cleaner lungs, and cars that run cleaner too. All from a homegrown product. Guess ethanol gives us all a boost.
Available at your Cenex or Land O'Lakes Cooperative.
Well, we hate to show you this, but we've got that state tournament snowstorm going on in Madison right now. The drive to the field house was kind of a tough one. However, Cassville coach Dennis Uppena and his guys made it, and so did everybody else. Cassville, in the last 12, they've won 12 straight, outscoring the opponents by an average of 16 points per game. Krybeck nails another one, and it is 14-10 Spring Valley, and Corey Krybeck really lighting it up. He's got 9 already. Here's Oki, free throw line jumper. Oki with 6, 14-12. I feel like I've been in this seat before, Bill.
Well, that's just the way it's going to be. This is the shootout at the OK Corral.
Krybeck lost it, but before he got the pass off, he's called for the travel. He thought he got fouled. Second turnover for Spring Valley. Spring Valley, 5 out of 12 from the floor here early, and Cassville just 3 out of 10, but that's before Oki made that jumper, so they are now 4 out of 11. We're under 2 minutes to go. The Cardinals lead by 2, and we got another foul.
That time Spring Valley was back in their man-for-man defense, and Chad Infield sees it. One-on-one situation. Great penetrator. He creates a lot of situations, and he's on the foul line now as a reward.
First foul for that guy, big number 54, Joe Hutter. Infield goes to the line looking for his 5th point of the afternoon.
Joe tried to get into a position there to take a charge, but his feet just weren't quick enough to get him there.
Well, I guess they're not going to shoot it, so they'll go inside to Oki. He will shoot it.
Nice little turnaround jump shot. Very soft for a kid 6'5".
Oki has 8. He's 3 for 4. Krybeck with 2 more. He has 11. 16-14. A minute and a half to go here in the first.
Jim, I know Corey wasn't feeling well, but a couple of 3-pointers and this last basket is great medicine for him.
Coltman gets the baseline and he scores. So far, it's been everything we hoped it would be. 16-16. Houlihan almost lost it. Gets it to Lamb. Lamb with a couple of big 3-pointers yesterday. They go to Churchill. He shoots. No. Hunter got it back. Lamb's open. Yes. 18-16. Under a minute to go here in the first.
I know that Don Kerr is going to have an interesting stat as we progress with this game. How many league changes are we going to have in this ball?
Sam Oki with 45 seconds to go. Infield wants to drive. Gets it back out high to number 24, Colter. Coltman misses. Battles. A header from Mike Churchill. And the save on Houlihan.
I don't know what we give him on that. A rebound, an assist, a deflection. But we got to say that Mike really used his head.
That's why they have the crew cuts now. You get a true bounce off the flat top, right?
That's true.
18-16, and Spring Valley with 14 is going to go for the last shot of the first quarter.
Watch for them to go with about 6 on the clock to create something.
Krybeck with 6. Lamb for 3 and out. Coltman with a rebound. 2 seconds. He'll fire just a little short. And that is the end of the first quarter. And it's Spring Valley leads Cassville 18-16. Coverage of the 77th annual WIAA Boys State Basketball Championship continues after these messages from our local station. This is your WIAA network station.
Dodge Caravan, with available features like anti-lock brakes, a V6 and seats. No wonder it's America's favorite minivan. Now, 500 cash back means a price starting as low as $13, making Caravan the obvious choice during the Dodge Dare to Compare Challenge. See your nearest Dodge dealer today and compare.
When you buy a high-quality Comfort Maker furnace or air conditioner, you get superb home comfort. And something, energy efficiencies that could mean big savings on your utility bills. Day after day, month after month, year after year. All the comforts of home.
In Columbus, contact Quality Electric and Heating. In Sun Prairie, contact Service Specialist. Or in Madison,
The Cardinals lead the Comets by up and down intense basketball just like we expected. Spring Valley shooting the ball a little bit better and rebounding a little bit better. Maybe that's why they're up by tear the ball. Only 3 turnovers total so far in the first quarter.
Yes, they have, and Cassville has not been intimidated by the height.
Travis Hannock is in the game for Spring Valley, number 32. Starting 5 in there for Cassville. Oh, missed it, and Big Joe Hutter with a rebound.
He attracted 4 guys that time on his way to the basket.
Hannock in the pass, and Hannock just missed an easy one.
Spring Valley has opened the second quarter in a man-for-man defense. They're in.
Stan Schau gets it inside to Coltman. You know, Coltman hasn't had a lot of success making his aggressiveness, going strong to the basket.
Here's a great lob pass all the way to the backside. Brian is their go-to guy. You're going to see when it's go ahead. Brian Coltman most of the time is going to have the ball in his hands.
Big game yesterday. Averages 15. He's an all-con so far this afternoon. Make it 6.
And Jim, if this pace continues, we're going to have a game in the high.
Here comes Sean Houlihan. To Krybeck, who had Hannock.
Cassville now has gone to a 2-3 zone.
Hannock will fire, and it's blocked by Sam Oki.
He's really getting to be very good at.
He's got those long arms. Tough to get the shot off over him. Sauser, Coltman muscles in. Cassville has the lead. 20-18. It's the first time they've been on top. Hennick to Kryback. Spring Valley struggling a little with the zone. Hunter has it blocked by Oki, and they're going to call the foul on Sam.
One of the things this zone defense will do is neutralize the height advantage. As you see right there, as he turns, he was in a sandwich. So I think Cassville will.
Okay, Oki with his first foul. Hunter, just a sophomore, so he can get even bigger and stronger. He would be the heir apparent to Mike Churchill at that center spot next year, starting at center.
Well, and I'm sure he's learned a lot from playing against Mike.
So Hunter in the tournament is 3 for 4 from the free throw line, 1 for 2 today. The WIAA State Boys Basketball Tournament is brought to you by insurance needs. From the corner, shot off the rim, no, and Ben Lamb has the rebound.
That time Cassville didn't hit the board.
20-19. The Comets from Cassville on top by 1. We are in the second quarter, 5:45 to go. With another rebound off the miss by Travis Hennick.
What Cassville is doing is they're changing defenses. On a made basket, they're playing a zone.
Full call on Chad Enfield. That is his second. And they can't afford to lose him. He's their playmaker. And you say sophomore. He doesn't look like he's that young either, the way he plays. He runs the ball club pretty well.
Well, and you add Lashmore. Maybe a junior and a half or something.
Well, the tempo has slowed down a little. Kryback going to try a 3. 20. Spring Valley back on top. And Corey Kryback has 14 points. He had, what, 31 last, and he's got a crack at it today. If he keeps up this pace, he should shatter it.
So we're just going to have to call this the three-point medicine.
Here comes Sean Houlihan. All the way. Oki blocked another one. That's at Lee's line. That's blocked by Hennick.
Well, Jim, you've heard of dunk-a-thons. We're seeing a block-a-thon going on right now.
Out on the floor. We are seeing good offense, and we are seeing some outstanding defense. Sean Houlihan, not this trip. You better pull up and shoot the outside jump shot if you're going to get it over me.
Just great timing. You know, I wonder, and I didn't ask. Clear looks like he just times his jump. He'd be a great spiker.
Yeah, I agree with that. Did you know varsity volleyball?
It looks real promising, Jim. Yeah. Volleyball in the state as far as the boys is on the up. And that's good. That's an atmosphere like this.
Okay. We're talking about volleyball now. At halftime, we're going to talk about the future of high school gymnastics. So stick beating Cassville 22-20. And, you know, Spring Valley with 22 points, but she'll look good early. We haven't heard from Houlihan yet, and I think that they're probably going to have to get those other guys scoring some points.
Well, I think that's going to come around. It's just that the opportunities have been there for Corey.
On the other end, Cassville getting most of its production from baseline, and it's knocked away out of bounds.
Nice double-down defensive technique by the Spring Valley player that time when Copeland got his hand.
He can't find him.
Spring Valley plays a zone against baseline out-of-bounds plays.
Nothing there, and turnover number 3, and Houlihan has it.
Cassville now is in a...
Kryback knocked away out of bounds again.
Excellent defensive footwork that time by Sam Oki as the...
Out high to Travis Hennick. Here's Houlihan for 3, yes.
Good.
25-20, Spring Valley by 5.
They've got a nice 1-2 punch on the perimeter for Spring Valley with Houlihan in.
In just a second, Copeland will fire from 14. It's good. 25-22. Not only did Spring Valley struggle to make it to Madisonville, 5 hours today, 11 inches of snow on the ground in Spring Valley. The bus drivers did a great job getting everybody down here. Sean Houlihan did a great...
Smallest guy on the floor gets a hustle offensive rebound and a putback.
Chad Enfield open from the corner. Sauser having a little bit of difficulty getting his game going. He's going to take a break. Jim Fishnick, number 32, comes into the game. Don Adams. A break.
Look for Spring Valley to be in a zone defense.
Oki off the inbounds play. Had a good shot, but it wouldn't drop.
Missed the...
Here's Houlihan again. No. Lamb. Yes. Biggest lead of the afternoon. They're up by 7. And the Comets trying to bomb. Here come the Cardinals. Krybeck. No.
Just
Schauf
a little bit
with a big
strong.
rebound.
A little bit strong.
The floor. Stan Schauf gets up, takes a deep breath, and says, "This is wild. Give me the ball. We're going to slow things." Nick, he'll fire. In and out. Spring Valley really trying to push the ball up the floor. 22.
What the key was on that play was a real quick first step to get by the guy. Well, there's definitely a momentum swing here.
Oki, Coltman, fouled hard.
He was...
And Stan Schauf for Cassville getting into a little shouting match with a couple of the Spring Valley. I didn't get a real good look at it, Bill, but no problem, I guess. Every once in a while you take offense to a hard foul.
Part of the game, Jim.
Coltman will go to the free throw line. He has 10 so far. This wins, 6 losses. They've really been hot lately. They won their last 12. Spring Valley, on the other hand, has been consistent. They have been down big a couple of times in the fourth quarter. Like in the sectional final, they were down 10 against South Shore. And of course, yesterday they rallied to win. And we all know about the Comets' big comeback against Marshall. 31-24. Churchill with a...
in between those two teammates. Great recognition where they are, and he got the pass to them.
Spring Valley back on top on Oki. Fires and hits. It's been a little while since they've gotten the ball to Sam Oki. He's got 10.
Well, Sam has to work hard to get the ball. I mean, he's working so that he can do something when he gets the ball.
First half, Krybeck, Houlihan, Churchill, he'll fire. Way short. Panic got the rebound, but he landed on the back of Don Adams. I think so. I don't think they're going to call that on Don Adams, are they?
Well, we're going to find out.
Okay.
That was kind of an ill-advised shot by Mike Churchill. He was fading away from the basket. He wasn't in good rhythm and balance. He wouldn't have taken it.
36 seconds left. Spring Valley leads this one 33-26 by 7. It looks like the Comets are going to...
Well, they've got Oki and Coltman rotating. Once they're in a high-low situation, they just switch positions here. It's
15 seconds. Coltman likes the baseline jumper. Missed it. Got it back. Muscle. Oh, good. Here comes Krybeck. One man to beat. He does. 2 seconds left. 1, and that is the Cardinals from Spring Valley have exploded here in the last 4 or 5 minutes of the second quarter. They lead to 26. The Cassville fans say, we're not dead yet. More state tournament action after these messages from our statewide sponsors. Menards, this is your WIAA network station.
You're a pretty good driver. What makes... Well, it's not what you drive. Golden Rocket. And it's not where you drive. It's how you drive. Avoid the company of bad drivers, and you won't pay for their mistakes. So, how will you drive?
Save on storm doors and more at Menards. Larson Storm and Screen Doors are on sale. Larson doors are built with a solid wood core for starting at just $88. And save on storm and screen door hardware from Wright Products. Choose from locks, closes, and more. Now 20% off our everyday low prices. Make Menards your storm door headquarters.
Save big Menards.
Spring Valley got the running game going late in that second quarter, and they lead 30-26 over Cassville. We told you that Corey Krybeck was a little under the weather all week, but my goodness, Bill, he looked great.
I'm telling you, I think you make a few three-pointers, and that's just the best medicine in the world. You forget about how you're not feeling, and you just get the ball.
Sam Oakey, he had 28 points yesterday in that win over Marshall. Looked very good again today. I think he has 10 at halftime. However, hasn't had a lot of offensive help except from Brian Copeman. The other guys haven't been involved in the offense.
Well, that's true, and I'm sure they're going to talk about that, because what is happening is because those two are so active, they're really getting a lot of attention, and they got to involve all 5 of their players.
We'll get first half statistics and highlights. Right now, we're going to send it across the court to Jay Wilson.
Okay, Jim, thanks very much. Well, last weekend in Wisconsin, they held the State Girls Gymnastics Tournament. Gymnastics, of course, one of the most beautiful and graceful sports of them all, but certainly a sport undergoing a lot of change. Let's take a look at this report.
We're seeing more gymnasts that take lessons during the year, during the off season, and they come in much more prepared. There's more knowledge in the crowd. People understand the sport a little better. I think also the Olympics help generate a lot of them for the sport. So you see a lot of kids coming out for it. A lot of kids are more health conscious. They come out because it's a good overall sport, and they want to get into condition, learn to control their bodies a little better. And it's a good sport for that. And it's a good sport for confidence.
Sun Prairie High School has enjoyed some of the greatest gymnastics performances of anywhere in the state in the last few years. But Sun Prairie, like all the other schools with gymnastic programs, are facing some tough economic times, and those issues are going to have to be addressed in the near future.
The biggest thing you're going to see now is the equipment problems, and that's why we're having a lot of co-op teams. Is the equipment is getting old in the schools, the matting is getting old, and they have to replace bars as a requirement next year to have new type of bars. So there's a problem with that, and that's where the change is going to come right now. And schools will either replace, co-op, or quit the program.
That is the survival of some programs in doubt?
Yes. It's a difficult sport in that it's technically very difficult, so it's hard to find coaches that are competent. You don't want the kids to get hurt because it is a high liability sport. And you can't have just anyone step in and teach it because there's so much to know about it. You can learn. You don't have to have ever been a gymnast, and if your desire is there and you're enthusiastic, you can learn how to coach it. But I think you'll see some, because of the coaching and the equipment, some schools close down their program. We're already seeing that in the 7 years I've coached. It's gone down a lot, the number of schools.
And joining us now is Frank McCormick of the WIAA, who was in charge of that girls gymnastics tournament in Wisconsin Rapids last weekend. Frank, thanks for joining us. Claudia Yezel of Sun Prairie talked about some gymnastics terms in general. How about specifically, what's the status of girls high school gymnastics in Wisconsin right now?
We've gone down numbers-wise, Jay, pretty significantly in the last 15 years or so. Back in the mid-70s, we were up to about 170 schools. Now we're down to maybe 125 schools, but only maybe 105 teams or so because of co-op teams. So we've gradually been losing numbers over the years.
Does that mean the sport's future is in any kind of doubt, or do some revisions have to be made?
Well, it doesn't mean that the sport's future is any kind of doubt right now. Our tournament program is solid right now, but if this continues, yeah, we're going to see a change in tournament format, I'm sure.
A couple of other things that Coach Yezel mentioned. First of all, about officials. Are there shortages of officials for judging and things like that?
Gymnastics is a difficult sport to officiate. There's an awful lot of knowledge that you have to have. It's not unusual to have a youngster that's participated in gymnastics come out, go into judging, and not feel comfortable judging until they're into it for 4 or 5 years. So there's an awful lot of knowledge that has to be learned. Sure, it is tough. Numbers-wise, we're low.
And also we heard about equipment, that it's such an important part of the sport, obviously. Schools needing to improve it, and of course coming up for those dollars are kind of tough too.
Kids are doing more difficult stunts all the time. The tricks are getting more difficult, which means that the equipment has to become safer. And that isn't going to change either, I don't think. The specifications on equipment have changed rather consistently over the last number of years, and each time that's an expense for the schools.
But the bottom line is people are out there looking for answers, right?
Yeah, people are looking for answers. If it was one thing that we were having difficulty with in gymnastics, we could deal with it. But unfortunately, I think it's a large combination of things, and we just haven't been able to solve those problems.
Well, it would be interesting to see how things develop. Frank McCormick, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
All right. Halftime of our Division IV championship game. Cassville trailing Spring Valley 35-26. We'll be back with more in just a moment, but first a word from our sponsors. This is your WIAA network station.
Going to the comedy club.
I hope you get a good seat. It was an inspired idea.
So, who's going to be here anyway?
Yeah, Greg, did you call?
Why bother? This place always has the funniest guys.
Take my dog, please. If you're going to take my dog,
it's going to get better.
That's the deal.
Not tonight.
Oh, what is this, an audience or an oil painting? I know you're out there. I can hear you breathing. But seriously, folks.
It's here, Domino's new, better-tasting pizza.
More melted cheese, big batter toppings, tender, tasty crust.
More melted cheese.
Big batter toppings.
Tender, tastier crust. From this day on, every Domino's pizza is going to be better than ever.
Nobody knows like Domino's how you like
More melted cheese, big batter toppings,
Tender, tastier crust.
Try a medium with unlimited toppings, now just $9.99. Another's $4 more.
The Spring Valley Cardinals outscored the Cassville Comets 17-10 in the second quarter. That's why they're up by 9, 35-26. How does Cassville, I'm not saying they're out of the game by any means. How do they get closer, Bill?
Well, I think they've got to put their inside game together with their outside game. And again, this is not a big lead, and we know that, look at yesterday, Cassville was down, they came back strong, and we know what fourth quarters present around here.
Okay, let's go to the first half highlights. We're going to start off with the man of the day so far, Corey Kryvik for Spring Valley. 8 of 11 from the floor. Nailed that three. He has 18 points already. The Division IV tournament record held by Kryvik a year ago. He had 31 in that one. Houlihan with a 3. Houlihan with 7.
Well, that really gives them a nice dimension out there with those two hitting the baskets.
Sam Oakey had 28 yesterday in his Fieldhouse debut. He has 10 so far this afternoon. He's done another tremendous job. Here are the statistics. Cassville got to start shooting the basketball a little bit better than they have.
Well, they really do. 35% is not going to win a lot of ball games for you. 48% on the other hand for Spring Valley is respectable.
Okay, Coltman and Oakey pretty much doing it all for Cassville. Kryvik getting some help from Houlihan. We will be back with the second half after these messages from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
You can always spot an Endress pier by its strength, safety, handsome redwood decking, and of course its beautiful construction. The Endress pier has modular decking to install easily, locking in place. So whether sunning, swimming, or boarding boats, the galvanized steel frames of the Endress pier can be adjusted to the perfect height. Endress piers are manufactured in Waunakee, Wisconsin, and sold directly from the factory.
Contact herbicides only work for one day, the day you spray. But weeds can come back, so check out Banvel, the only post-emerge, no atrazine alternative that works from day one. Spray it at spike for residual control of the toughest broadleaves, all the way to canopy, with no second flushes. So don't settle for one-day control. Get control from day one with Banvel.
Welcome back to the University of Wisconsin Fieldhouse, everybody. Jim Sosha and Bill Groff all set for the second half of this Division IV championship game. Pretty even in that first quarter. Cassville actually took a 2-point lead at 22-20, but then the Cardinals from Spring Valley got hot, and they've pulled away a little bit, leading by 9. The 77th annual Boys State Basketball Championships are brought to you statewide by Cenex Land O'Lakes and your local Cenex Land O'Lakes Cooperative.
Well, there's no doubt, Jim, that Cassville is due for a spurt, and we just know that a lot of interesting things happen in this Fieldhouse in the second half, and especially in the fourth quarter. Don't go away. It's not over.
Both teams going with their starting lineup. Schauf, Sauser, infield, Oki, and Copeman for Cassville. Houlihan, Krybeck, Lamb, Burgess, and Churchill for Spring Valley. And there's Churchill. 11 seconds into the third quarter. His 6th point, and it is an 11-point Spring Valley lead.
Good way to start it off for Spring Valley. Now, Cassville's got to answer.
Copeman likes that reverse layup. Didn't even come close on that attempt, and the Cardinals have it back. I think Copeman had an easy shot, but didn't realize it. Krybeck on the drive. No good. Oki has the board.
You know, one statistic that we didn't talk about, but it's important. Sam Oki had 3 blocks in that first half also, and that kept Cassville in the ballgame.
Infield to Schauf. Copeman inside and didn't get the roll, but he did get the foul. And Mike Churchill not happy about it.
There's one of the things that Brian does so well is he gets the ball and he makes those nice penetrating moves to the basket.
Copeman has 12, perfect from the free throw line, and you know, Bill, with a few breaks, he could be up there around 20 points. He's had some good shots and some tough luck. They just haven't really fallen that consistently for him.
Well, and part of the reason is he's been playing against people who've got a couple inches on him.
Misses the second. Oki fights to keep it alive and knocked it out of bounds.
Look for Cassville to be in some kind of a matchup zone here. It's like a 1-2-2.
Ben Lamb to Sean Houlihan. Again into Churchill over Copeman. Air ball this time. And Corey Sauser pulls down the rebound. Sauser ineffective in the first half. Had a nice game yesterday against Marshall. They could use some outside production from him. Sauser fires. No. Krybeck loves to run. Burgess can't handle it.
Well, they had the numbers advantage that time, and they just couldn't make a conversion out of it.
Only 3 turnovers in the entire ball game for Spring Valley, and it hasn't been up and down, but they have been running the break when they can. That's a pretty good job of not turning it over.
Well, it's not turnovers that has explained this difference.
Oki inside. He missed an easy one.
It's shooting percentage, and there was a pretty high percentage shot that was missed.
Houlihan, Lamb over Oki. No, Copeman has it. We've played 2 minutes here in the third, and the 9-point halftime lead is now a 10-point lead for Spring Valley, 37-27. Copeman dumps it off to Schauf. Back to infield. Sauser.
Nice ball movement on the part of Cassville.
Copeman got it. This one that goes in, and he'll go to the free throw line again. Just as we were saying, Bill, he's had several opportunities for the 3-point play. Couldn't get the shot to go in until now.
Well, he worked so hard around the basket to get open, and that obviously was an A+ pass that got in there between 2 defenders.
He couldn't make it happen, and the lead for Spring Valley is 8. Quickly in the front court. Krybeck leans in and scores. Tough shot.
Very nice control, body control, and again, what he did with the ball was the important thing. He put it down.
Krybeck averages 24 points a game. He has 20 now. There's Copeman again, starting to feel the rhythm. 39-31.
Well, Brian's going to show that this is his last year, and seniors are your leaders, so they're going to go to him.
Well, last year when these two teams met in the Division IV semifinals here at the Fieldhouse, it was Cassville who had a comfortable lead, and Spring Valley came from behind. And right now, the tables have been turned. It's the Comets who need to come back.
Well, and I do look for Cassville to come back. I think that they'll overcome their poor shooting percentage here and get back in the ballgame.
Brad Burgess is out of the game for Spring Valley. Travis Hannock is in there. And the Comets, within 8, would like to cut it to 6. Oki, no. Rebound inside, and another foul. Stan Schauf came to life on that play, Bill.
Yes, he did, because of his position. Watch the position he gets here. Boxes out his man, takes it and goes right back up with it. That's what you want to do with an offensive rebound. You don't want to get an offensive rebound and throw it back outside.
Rob Bossart, the Spring Valley coach, looking pretty relaxed, although he did say yesterday after the game he's only 28 years old, and with all these comebacks they've been having lately, he feels like he's about 43 years old.
Well, we should have taken a before and after picture after last year's state tournament.
Stan Schauf, first point of the game, had 6 yesterday against Marshall. He's a 67% free throw shooter. Maybe that's what he needed to get going. 39-33. The Comets are back within 6. As close as they've been in quite a while. Krybeck, Churchill, double teamed, Houlihan.
Spring Valley's doing a nice job of moving the ball.
What a defensive play by Sam Oakey. Falling down, he stole it away from Ben Lamb.
Well, that's the turnover that Cassville was looking for now to even cut the margin more.
Coltman back out high to Sauser to infield with 4 minutes to go. They go to Coltman, taken away by Krybeck. Here he comes, full throttle. Hammock.
Nice little pull-up jump shot.
First basket of the game for Hannock, and the lead for Spring Valley is back to 8. 41-33. Schauf out high to infield. Sauser from the baseline. Left-handed jumper, and it's back to 6. His first 2. We told you at halftime that Schauf and Sauser needed to get it going, and they've done that here in the third. Hannock goes to Lamb. Houlihan for 3. Got it. Houlihan has 10. Big hoop for Spring Valley. They're back up by 9.
Some nice inside-outside passing that went on there to create that shot.
Just when Cassville closes in, Spring Valley makes a run. Ben Lamb to Hannock to Krybeck. Over Oakey.
That's what you call scoring off of a turnover.
The Spring Valley fans are on their feet, pointing at the Cassville bench to take a timeout, and Dennis Uppana says, I think we need one. You folks are right. 46-35, Spring Valley by 11. The 77th annual WIAA Boys State Championships continue after these messages from our statewide sponsors. Marshfield Clinic and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. This is your WIAA network station.
I think we probably have more rheumatologists in one place than any place else in the state. I think the more rheumatologists who work together and put their heads together to help patients, we tend to get new ideas. Why don't we bring in this kind of a person to help? Why don't we get more staff involvement from this point of view? So in that sense, the more rheumatologists you have, the more ideas, the better program you really provide for patients. Patient care is #1 here. Always has been.
The dairy farmers of Wisconsin are proud of the award-winning cheesemakers of Wisconsin. Year after year, Wisconsin cheeses are named the country's finest. Choose from a wide selection of award-winning varieties, and taste why Wisconsin is #1 when it comes to great-tasting cheese. Look for the award-winning Wisconsin cheeses in the dairy section at your favorite grocer, and take advantage of this great opportunity to enjoy the pride of Wisconsin, delicious Wisconsin cheese.
Cassville pulled within 6, but not for long. Spring Valley shifted into 5th gear, and they are back on top by 11, thanks mainly to Corey Krybeck, who is now 10 for 11 from the floor in the game. He already has 22 points, 5 for 8 from the field for Spring Valley in the third.
Corey may break his own scoring record for Division IV here today.
31 is the magic number. He's well on his way. Coltman, tough shot in the lane, good.
Nice little fake that time. Good square around.
19 for Coltman. He's challenging Krybeck for the scoring lead. He's done it a little more quietly. Krybeck forces inside, picked up by Chad Infield. And, you know, even down by 11, you know after what happened yesterday against Marshall that the Comets aren't going to go away.
No, they're not. And if it stays at this margin, you know going in the fourth quarter they're going to say, hey, they did it to us last year, we can do it to them.
Blocked. Here comes Hannick. One man to beat, and oh, there is an intentional foul by number 32, Jim Fishnick. And a good job by the Spring Valley players preventing something from going on here. Watch this.
Well, you saw a great outlet pass by Mike Churchill, and the reason it was an intentional foul was because he was not going for the ball. He was shoved from behind. There was no effort to make a play on the ball. Great call by the officials. It doesn't have to be the last minute of a ball game to make that intentional call foul.
Fishnick going to come out of the game. He's replaced by Don Adams. I think, Bill, what happens sometimes in that situation is you say, I don't want to give him the easy hoop. And, you know, it's okay to foul him there, but get an arm or something. He was just a little out of control. And I think the other kids from both teams did a good job. I saw Coltman for Cassville run up and grab him and say, hey, settle down. And the Spring Valley players, you know, did a good job of maintaining their composures, too. Their composure, I should say.
I was impressed by both teams, the way they handled a real tense situation.
46-37. Ben Lamb. Hannick will fire. He'll hit. Hannick has 4, and Spring Valley back in front by 11. 48-37.
Well, if you're Cassville, you want to get this down into single digits going into the fourth quarter.
This is Don Adams. Back out high to infield.
Spring Valley's in a 1-3-1 zone defense right now.
Infield's 3 doesn't fall, and with 1:39 to go, Spring Valley will push it down the floor again. Krybeck to Lamb, and it's taken away by infield. Here come the Comets. Spring Valley does a nice job getting back on defense.
Corey Krybeck in particular.
Stan Schauf cannot handle the pass, out of bounds, and it goes back to the Cardinals.
Well, Cassville just rushed it a little bit that time. It probably would have been better for them just to pull the ball out, set their offense, and do something with a purpose that results in a basket.
Mike Churchill comes out for Spring Valley, and Joe Huddard, number 54, replaces him. We're down to 1:15 to go. Spring Valley up by 11. Chance to go up even more. Krybeck misses one. Houlihan. Hannick. Good job by Sean Houlihan getting the rebound and then spotting the open man.
He's turning into a monster offensive rebounder today.
He grew a few inches in the offseason, and that's helped him. Oki, he misses. Spring Valley on the fly again. Lamb lays it in.
Great recognition, way to pass the ball to your teammate.
The ball never touched the floor. Back and forth passing, just like you do it in the pregame warm-up. 52-37, biggest lead of the game. 30 seconds to go.
And Spring Valley just wants to bust this open right now by putting a little pressure on the perimeter.
Shaw fires way off the mark. Adams can't save it. And the Cardinals have it back, and the Spring Valley cheering section is going crazy.
Well, they've got a good reason to. I'd be pretty happy if I was from Spring Valley at this point also.
Spring Valley going for the last shot with 12 seconds to go.
Cassville's playing in a man-for-man, so you're going to probably see a one-on-one situation.
And there's the guy, Krybeck, on the dish to Lamb.
Timed it perfect.
The Cardinals have exploded here in the third quarter. They lead by 17, 54-37. We'll return after these messages from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
If you've overdone it, played too hard, or stripped a gear, here's a reminder from the UW Hospital Sports Medicine Center. Apply ice to the injury, use compression to control swelling, elevate it, and support it. For more information on any sports medicine question, call 263-4765. UW Hospital Sports Medicine Center, Wisconsin's Center for Sports Medicine.
Going to the comedy club.
I hope you get a good seat. It was an inspired idea.
So, who's going to be here anyway?
Yeah, Greg, did you call?
Why bother? This place always has the funniest guys.
Take my dog, please. If you're going to take my dog,
It's going to get better.
That's the deal.
Not tonight.
Oh, what is this, an audience or an oil painting? I know you're out there. I can hear you breathing. But seriously, folks.
Well, if you want to see textbook fast breaking, here it is. This ball is not going to hit the floor. 3 passes. Ben Lamb lays it home, and Corey Krybeck there to follow it up in case it comes out. That's just beautiful basketball, Bill.
Yes, it was. Touch pass, touch it, pass it, touch it, pass it. And Cassville has a mountain to climb now, Jim.
They're down by 17, 54-37, just underway here in the fourth. The winner takes home the Gold State Championship trophy for Division 4. Coltman in the lane, can't get the roll. Battle inside, and a foul against Don Adams.
One of the things Cassville will probably try to do now to get back in is contest every rebound that Spring Valley comes down with. That time it resulted in the foul.
We talked to head coach Dennis Uppena, that gentleman right there for Cassville before the game, and we said, is it revenge against Spring Valley? He said, no, it's not revenge, nothing like that. They were just looking forward to another shot, but Spring Valley came out ready to go.
They really did.
Churchill off the feed from Krybeck.
I wouldn't call it revenge, Jim, but I would say it's definitely been on their mind for the past few months.
They've got time, but they've got to start scoring quickly. Coltman from the baseline. Panic with a rebound. Spring Valley not going to slow it down. Adams in the lane. Foul.
Good things happen when you take the ball to the basket.
They are just ultra explosive. They get the ball off the defensive boards, and it's full speed ahead.
And you've got to be impressed with Corey Krybeck because he's a great shooter, but he's also a very excellent passer.
Averages 4 assists a game on the season. 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 assists.
He's a player.
Yeah. 56-39, Spring Valley.
Kind of short rim that second free throw.
That was number 40, Brent Kratz. First time we've seen him today. He misses both.
This is what Cassville has to do, Jim. They got to pass the ball a couple more times and end up like that.
Sam Oakey, also a very good passer. He gets it to his teammate Brian Coltman. Coltman has 21, and the lead for Spring Valley is 17. Kratz to Krybeck. Nothing there, so he sets it back up. Down to 6:30 to go in the ball game. Backdoor cut. Panic missed it.
But it was a great pass. Wow, that was good.
Here come the Comets. Chad Infield. Deflected away. The Comets outscored Marshall 32-18 in the fourth quarter yesterday. They need to do better than that today. Don Adams. That's a long 2, and it's 56-41.
He couldn't quite get his feet behind that three-point line, but the basket went in, so that's a start.
Adams, a 5'9" senior with that big knee brace, and you can tell the knee still bothers him, but he's doing a good job out there. Houlihan on the drive, and a foul before the shot.
We really have an interesting matchup here. Chad Infield, who usually takes the best offensive perimeter player, is just hounding Krybeck.
Spring Valley just lit it up in that third quarter, shooting 69%. That's about all you need to see. 9 out of 13 from the floor. No matter how good, how well Cassville played, they're only going to pick up any ground. Lamb off the miss. And a foul as they battle for the rebound, and I think you're going to call it against Sam Oakey.
Sam's been quiet for a while here. I'm kind of looking for him to change the light bulbs on the scoreboard now.
Here's how they did it yesterday. Cassville with that big comeback, the Comet comeback, I guess you'd call it. Krybeck in the lane. Spring Valley has missed the last few trips down the floor, but they'll get another chance here. Kryback puts it up and in.
A little leaner. Copeman was right there, but he couldn't do anything with it. Corey's on a roll now.
He has 24, and it's a 17-point lead for Spring Valley. Infield buries the 3.
Take that. We're not quitting, he said.
Cassville needs a couple, maybe 3 or 4 stops, and then they need to convert on the other end. They still do have time. Awfully tough against a club like Spring Valley, especially when they're shooting like that. Travis Hannock nails it, and it's 60-47.
Well, they've got to get every loose ball. They've got to get every rebound on both ends and run a perfect offense.
Adams goes inside to Copeman, and he is fouled by Ben Lamb.
There's an example now. They need a basket, and they're going to look for Copeman. Andy Oakley has been very, Sam Oakley has been very quiet here, so I think Brian's going to have to take over.
Here's Adams again. This one rims in and out. Saved by Oakley, and then picked up by Kryback. He plows through trouble, and he'll run the other way. Lamb gets it back, and he is fouled by Don Adams.
One thing we're not going to see here is Spring Valley pulling the ball out.
Adams, I think, got hit right in the old coconut.
And if that goes in, we'd have to give the assist to Brian Copeman because he touched it last before it went to the Spring Valley players' hands.
60-44. Spring Valley leading it by 16 with 4:29 to go. Ben Lamb, 10 points today. That's 3 over his season average of 7. He had 13 yesterday, so he's had himself a very nice little tournament here at the field house.
Spring Valley wants to build on this lead. They don't want to get into the situation that some teams do where you play not to lose.
Lamb doesn't get the roll this time, and the Comets will bring it up. Kryback. Is that a foul on Corey Kryback or not, Bill? What do you think?
I think it's 1st and 10, Green Bay.
He just decided he was going to cut off Schauf at the pass, and he ended up tackling him for good measure. Went for the steal and didn't quite get it. 61-44. Infield on the drive. Back to Adams for 3, and that is rejected by Hannock. Houlihan got it and laid it in, but he is fouled before he lays it in. And Houlihan talking to himself. What do you think he's talking about?
Well, I think he felt that shove in the back, which the officials kind of missed, and that's the one he really wanted.
Let's take another look at it. And what happened there, I think Don Adams was tripped up from behind, and he was out of control, and he went crashing into Houlihan, and impact was rather severe, but Houlihan didn't realize that Adams had been tripped.
Right. Sean wanted that basket to count. You could just see his eyes as he looked up and saw it go through the net as he was falling down.
Just saying, composure.
Yes.
And in a game, you know, you're playing for the state championship, and there are going to be some hard fouls, and maybe a couple of guys don't necessarily have to like each other out here. It's tough sometimes not to get carried away, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And that's what athletics teaches you. How to control your emotions in a tense situation.
62-44 with 4 minutes to go. Copeman will shoot from the lane. Misses again. And the rebound goes to Ben Lamb.
Cassville has just got to start doing some things right here.
Inside the Lamb. Nothing there. Back to Hannock. 3 minutes and 45 seconds to go. Spring Valley has the silver trophy for second place. They picked it up last year, and after they got it, they thought, well, the gold trophy would look pretty good in that same trophy case. Let's get back next year. Lamb goes up, and he's fouled, and again, they'll call it on Don Adams.
Ben's kind of a blue-collar player. He's just a workhorse. Doesn't do anything real flashy, but he works so hard, and he gets rewarded in this instance with 2 free throws.
Can we get a shot of the shooter's tennis shoes? I don't know if we can do that. Rather interesting. Spring Valley's colors, of course, are the Cardinals, so they're red. Cassville is green. But Ben Lamb, I don't know if you can tell it, he's wearing green tennis shoes. Oh, there they are. Those are green.
Well, Ben's looking forward to spring.
maybe he borrowed a pair from the Comets before. Maybe he left his shoes back in Spring Valley. Apparently they fit because he's had a good game.
It hasn't affected him any.
64-44, infield with a three-point bomber. No good, and here comes Houlihan. Krybeck inside, missed one. Boy, Krybeck hasn't missed many, and he knocked it out of bounds.
Well, now this is what Cassville has to decide here. Are we going to put up every shot in a three-point type of shot, or are we going to get some twos and apply some pressure?
Little contact, no foul call there. Infield, Coltman, little half hook in the lane, missed it again, and Houlihan has the rebound.
Nothing's going down right now for Cassville, Jim. That was a great shot, and it just wouldn't fall.
Spring Valley doing just about everything right. Pass inside, and another hard foul. And Bill, we're getting very close to the edge.
Yes, we are.
This could get out of hand, and I don't know if they're going to call that flagrant, but they could.
Well, he was going for the ball, but he almost dismantled Corey's arm.
Chad Infield with his third personal foul, and we've got a timeout on the floor, and head coach Rob Bossart on the floor saying, my guys are getting hammered pretty hard, and let's keep it under control. 2:50 to go. Spring Valley leads by 20, 60-44, and we're going to take a break. More state tournament action after these messages from our statewide sponsors, Rural Insurance Companies and Menards. This is your WIAA network station.
Good driving is a habit. You can learn good driving habits or bad driving habits. You can be a good driver or a bad driver. You decide. Who pays for bad drivers?
Keep both hands on the wheel.
Good habits have their rewards.
Beautify your bath with remodeling ideas from Menards. Tub surround kits by Design House are on sale now. They're easy to install and easy to clean. This white trio tub surround is just $29.99 and adds style with a mirrored medicine cabinet by Nautilus. Choose from traditional and contemporary styles on sale now, starting at just $9.99. Remember Menards for all your bath remodeling projects.
Save big money at Menards.
Well, this is why Spring Valley coach Rob Bossart went out and talked to the officials a little bit after the foul.
Well,
you don't mind your guy getting fouled, but that one was maybe a little too severe.
Well, it was a good hard foul, and it was partly frustration too because Corey was so wide open and Chad had to come almost across the lane to make contact. So he had built up some momentum before contact was made.
Corey Krybeck at the free throw line, 25 points.
And I'm sure Corey right now is saying, I don't care about that state scoring record. I want a big W here.
26. He's still got a shot at the individual. I don't know if he'll get the 2-day scoring record, but he's got a shot at 31. Houlihan almost steals it. Sam Oakey shoots from the free throw line, and Churchill has the rebound.
Spring Valley's zone defense has just shut down Cassville's offense.
Sam Oakey got out of the blocks with a good start, but in the second half, he just hasn't been able to get the basketball very often at all.
And again, that's a good decision on the part of Coach Bossart to stay in that zone.
In fact, Oakey hasn't scored a point in the second half. Had 10 in the first half and nothing here. 2:14 to go. Spring Valley looking at a state championship in Division IV, leading by 22 points, 66-44.
And they're in the process of taking a little air out of the ball right now, Jim. Keep the clock moving. The clock is your opponent at this point in the game.
Backdoor cut. Ben Lamb can't handle it, and the ball goes back to the Comets.
Good idea, but again, didn't have to make that pass unless he's wide open.
Here comes Mike Churchill out of the game, and he's going to get a big hand. Churchill, the senior center, goes to the bench, and he says, we're number one.
Well, Mike made up for sort of a quiet day yesterday.
Travis Hannick comes out of the game. Great job off the bench. Churchill, 8 points today. That's deceiving. He actually had 12 yesterday, but I think he played a better basketball game today, Bill.
Yes, he did, because he was more active. And it's starting to become a celebration now as the guys come in and the guys come out.
Cassville also getting some of the starters out of the ball game. Guys who had outstanding years. Here comes Sean Houlihan. He leaves with 11, and he gets a big hug.
Congratulations, Sean. You played a good, hard, hustling game.
Jesse Plessel in the game, number 10 for the Comets. First time we've seen him. Fishnick is back in. He fires a shot and misses. Tom Eim, number 40 in the game for Cassville. Also, Kurt Raisbeck, number 42. We saw him briefly earlier in the first half.
And what's really nice, Jim, is these kids from Spring Valley are saying, I not only was on a state championship team, I played on a state championship team.
Krybeck goes for the dunk and missed it. It goes out of bounds. I think he left a little too soon. Corey Krybeck going to come out of the ball game. What a game. What a tournament. What a career this young man has had. It's just unfortunate that he didn't end it with a slam dunk.
Well, he still had a lot of shining moments the last 2 days.
Krybeck leaves the game with 26 points. He had 17 yesterday. He can do it all. You can bet he's probably going to be on the all-tournament team this year.
Boy, I can't see how you can keep him off.
You know, what is amazing is he had 26, and this for him was another average performance. He averages 24 points a game.
Yeah, and they were a quiet 24, too, or 26.
The 77th annual WIAA Boys State Championships continue after these messages from our statewide sponsors, Marshfield Clinic and the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board. This is your WIAA network station.
I think our philosophy at the Marshfield Clinic that the patient is number one, that we make every endeavor once the patient is in the system to make sure that the diagnosis and treatment are done in a timely fashion, and that tests, etc., are not repeated, and that we provide very efficient, excellent care, patient care. And the patient has always been and always will be number one in our system.
Milk is sure helping me get stronger. Back when I started high school, guys pushed me around just because I was smaller. But I was working out, drinking milk, developing my muscles. By senior year, milk had made a difference.
Pardon me, guys.
I love this part.
Pardon me, guys.
So as you can see, it pays to be big on milk. Milk. It does a body good.
The Spring Valley Cardinals just a minute 24 seconds away from the state championship. Rob Bosshart's second year, second trip to the field house, and came close last year, but got the job done this year. Number 34 in the game for Spring Valley. That's Ryan Capping on the miss. Up ahead, running the other way. Fishnick lays it in for Cassville. 66-46. We want to mention Brian Copeman, number 44 for the Comets, out of the game now. He had an outstanding afternoon. 21 points for him.
Nice player. Nice player.
Yeah, and you know what? With a couple of breaks, could have been in the 30s.
Yes, he could have. He worked hard. He really did. Drew a lot of attention every time he got the ball and drove into the lane.
Jesse Plessel brings it up in the front court. Fishnick on the drive and has it kicked away. 52 seconds to go. Don't go away. Coming up next, more state championship basketball. It'll be Columbus against St. Croix Falls. Long range three, no. Rebound fight inside, and Fishnick draws the foul. And then tonight, after a little break, the Division II championship game. The Hilltoppers from Onalaska against Campbellsport, and then in Division I, the matchup that should be very interesting. Undefeated Milwaukee King, the defending state champs, taking on Madison West. All-day basketball session, and it should be interesting. Spring Valley still trying to run. Joe Hunter can jump, but not quite that high. Out of bounds with 35 seconds to go.
You know, you mentioned that this is Coach Rob Bossart's second straight trip to the state tournament. I wonder if this string is going to continue.
And trying to get some more substitutes in. 25 seconds to go. Hunter in the backcourt. He'll bring it up himself. The big guy can dribble. On the drive, Pratt has it stolen away. This is Fishnick. Up ahead to Salzer, and he lays it in. 9 seconds, out of bounds. And Spring Valley just threw the ball out of bounds on purpose. They're going to get the substitutes in, and they are celebrating. The state championship trophy going to go back to Spring Valley on those snow-covered and slippery roads.
Spring Valley, your dream has come true today at the field house.
This is Eim from outside. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. The shot goes in by Eim, but it is over. Spring Valley wins it all, 66-49. The dejection on the faces of the Cassville Comets. You saw Rob Bossart and Dennis Uppena exchange congratulations, and now you look at the celebration. The Cardinals win it. 23-4 on the year. They are the Division IV state champions. We'll return after these messages from your local station. This is your WIAA network station.
This is a Four Winds 190 Horizon, Skipper Bud's bestseller at both the Chicago and Milwaukee boat shows. An OMC Cobra stern drive, excellent warranty and terrific options from Four Winds make it the best value. See it at Skipper Bud's, your authorized OMC Cobra dealer.
When you buy a high-quality Comfort Maker furnace or air conditioner, you get superb home comfort and something more. High energy efficiencies that could mean big savings on your utility bills. Day after day, month after month, year after year. Comfort Maker, all the comforts of home.
In Windsor, contact A. Windsor Sheet Metal. In Columbus, contact Quality Electric and Heating. Or in Madison, contact Heating and Cooling Incorporated.
Where does business turn when recruiting positions?
One of our best art directors got her start at MATC. She's terrific.
Dan Cook is a great example of a MATC graduated technician.
MATC is an excellent recruitment source for filling a variety of positions at Wisconsin Power and Light.
MATC is good for business. Call MATC today and begin a career that promises a great future. MATC.
Skipper Bud's would like a chance to be your marine dealer. We say yes to all of your boating needs with fine products like Four Winds boats powered by OMC Cobra stern drives. We have the boat of your dreams with the service you'd expect from Skipper Bud's, your authorized OMC dealer. Stop and see us.
Well, Spring Valley already has a trophy like the one on the right. They decided to get one on the left, the gold trophy. Runners-up last year, champions this year. Spring Valley beats Cassville in the Division IV championship game. Time now for the awards presentation with PA announcer Jack Rain.
Making the presentation to the Division IV teams will be Harriet Jelinek, Treasurer of the Board of Control, a member of the Rhinelander Board of Education, elected to the Board of Control by the Wisconsin Association of School Boards. And Mark Lakey, Principal at Edgar High School, assisted by Karen Kuhn, the Assistant Director of the WIAA and the Tournament Director. Here are the Comets. Jesse Plessel. Don Adams. Stan Schoaf. Corey Selzer. Chad Infield. Jim Fishnick. Sam Oakey. Tom Eim. Kurt Racebeck. Brian Copeman. And the coach of the 1992 Division IV runners-up from Cassville, Dennis Uppana. Here are the champions. Corey Ducklow. Dan Powell. Congratulations. Joe Gett. Sean Houlihan. Scott Hughes. Corey Krybeck. Then Travis Hannock. Ryan Capping. Brent Pratt. Brad Burgess. Williams. Mike Churchill. Andy Wilkinson. Joe Hutter. And the coach of the 1992 Division IV state champion from Spring, Bob Bosshart.
A lot of fun or not. A tough loss for Cassville. Great season, though. They made a late run in the season, winning 12 in a row, but too much this afternoon. They win it, the final, 66-51. The Cardinals end the season with a record of 4. And Bill, you know, they were explosive last year. They only scored 66 in this game, which is a far cry from 89. But when they were as close to unstoppable as you can get.
Well, there were some minutes there that they put together where they called Jim. And one thing we got to remember is that both of these teams are winners. One just got a gold trophy, the other one got a silver, but they're unity.
And I think the Spring Valley kids did a nice job. A couple of hard fouls, and they kept their composure well. And we had a couple of tenths okay in the end. Let's take a look at some of the highlights here. We got to start with this guy, Corey Krybeck to Travis Hannock. Krybeck, when he wasn't scoring, was dishing off. Again, Sean Houlihan from outside. He'll be back next year, folks. He had a nice game as well. It was close after one quarter. 18 really opened it up with a electrifying third quarter run. Ben Lamb with the steal. Eventually the ball goes to 26.
We saw that move several times today.
Cassville tried to hang in there thanks to his career with a very good effort. 21 points, a lot of work inside.
He had a nice tournament.
Look at this. You're back on defense and you see this kind of you don't have much of a chance. Ben Lamb gets the 2 off the textbook break. Jim Fishnick gets a hoop in the state tournament, but not nearly enough to 51. And They shot 51% from the game. Cassville had opportunities, but they just couldn't put the ball in the basket.
In this game.
Copeman with 21 leads the way for Cassville. Sam Oakey, the freshman, he's got a great career ahead of him. He did a nice job shutting him down in the second half.
Well, they did. You know, it's defense wins ball games, and that zone defense was a problem.
He's been here twice as Spring Valley's head coach. He's got 2 trophies, but I suspect he likes this one a little bit better than the one he took home last year. Jay.
Thanks, Jim. Well, Coach, no big fourth quarter rally needed against Cassville this year. Your team really played a great game, especially in the second half.
Mentally, they've been thinking about this for a long time, and we didn't have to say anything to them in the locker room. They were ready to go.
And you hate to individualize. Second straight year, just had another great tournament.
He sure did. He's done that for 3 years in a row. He's been that kind of a player. But it was just a great team effort. Everybody can really put a finger on anybody.
Cassville's Sam Oakey was the talk of the tournament yesterday, but you guys held him to 10 points. What'd you do? What was the strategy against Oakey?
And trying to plug up the middle. Mike Churchill, Joe Hutter did a great job trying to take away his inside game.
Is that gold trophy a little lighter to lift?
A little more satisfying because the kids have worked very hard all year to play this Saturday, and they got what they deserve.
And we have to mention the Spring Valley fans. About a 3-hour drive. It took 5 today. They only got here about 10 minutes before noon, but they were out in force.
We've had a great following all year long. They've been to doing tournaments out everywhere, and we can't give enough credit to our fans.
Coach, congratulations on a Division IV state championship.
Thank you, Jay.
All right. So from your local stations, this is your WIAA network station.